There was an explosion. It basically sounded like a bomb went off.
Somerset Marine Construction had an issue causing 6 people to become injured. An explosion and fire randomly started around 7:45 a.m. on May 19th in Eagle, Wisconsin. Owner Larry Chapman speaks about his experience.
Very unfortunate situation. We'll get to the bottom of what happened, but for right now, I'm thankful to God that everybody's alive.
According to WTMJ-TV, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms is investigating the explosion. Western Lakes Fire Assistant Chief Matt Herder says nothing appears suspicious. Local law enforcement states how locals can stay safe.
To please shelter in place as far as be in your home, have your windows shut, and do not have your air conditioning running so that it's bringing in outside air. There is no danger to the community. There is no hazardous materials here. It's just that it's a smoke issue.
We do not know how this fire started, but we hope everyone can have a speedy recovery. I am Claude T. Martinez reporting for GSUTV.
This is Xavier Thompson reporting from outside a local Planned Parenthood clinic, a place that has become the subject of much debate as the Supreme Court drafts an opinion that votes to strike down Roe v. Wade, the famous Supreme Court decision that protects a woman's liberty to choose whether or not to have an abortion. This decision comes nearly 50 years after the Supreme Court voted in favor of these protections, a vote that Justice Samuel Alito writes was egregiously wrong from the start.
I think it's really ridiculous, honestly. Why they overturned it is just why. There's many reasons as to why a woman would want an abortion. It could be medical, it could be personal, and that's obviously her decision.
I find that decision deeply concerning, seeing as how none of the gentlemen making this decision have contributed anything towards women's rights, supporting the kids who are born from this decision, or anything of that sort. It seems like they're just trying to silence the voice of women. I know quite a bit. I know it was a while ago when it was decided a woman, similar to our situation, was, impregnated, and the process of the baby was very difficult for her to handle. So, in order to make the situation easier for her, the court made the decision to allow her to abort the baby. And one of the most amazing women, RBG, helped out with that decision. Awesome court judge. And it was one of the best decisions that our court could have made.
Sources say that 4 of the Republican-appointed justices vote with Justice Alito, while 3 Democratic-appointed justices are working on more dissents. Chief Justice John Roberts has yet to make a decision on the matter, and it is unclear whether or not he will draft his own opinion. For now, and until we hear more, this has been Xavier Thompson, reporting for GSU News.
This is Jazmine Grisby, reporting to you from what was formerly known as Ritchie's High School, but is now reported to be the site of the new state-of-the-art Career and Technical Center that will serve the South Suburbs as the Southland Career and Technical Education Center. According to E-News Park Forest, the school will provide thousands of students training across 6 occupational areas such as aviation, construction trades, information technology, manufacturing trades, public safety, and urban agriculture, by licensed educators and professionals within the field. Ideas for the center are being promoted by several local educational institutions such as Bloom Township, Crete Monee, Homewood Flossmoor, Southland College Prep, and Prairie State College. The institutions involved, known as the Collective, are hoping to receive funding through grants and other various sources in order to fund the $100 million project. There hadn't been much talk regarding the building since back in October of 2019, when, according to ABC7, the Rich Township District 227 voted to close the former high school due to what was said to be a decline in enrollment and the building's need for repairs that would cost the district millions. If funding is approved, within 3 to 5 years, we could be seeing a brand new building and vocational technical school at this very site. Reporting to you for Governor State University, I'm Jazmine Grisby.
Welcome to GSUTV, where today we are talking about the April Fool's Drive that happened this past week, and also having a conversation with the coordinator, Miss Sierra Noel.
April Food Day is an annual event sponsored by United Way, and basically what United Way does is give away so much food to local food pantries and so forth. So Governor State happens to be one of those pantries. Maya Hardy, who is a GSU alum, is actually one of the organizers of the event. So it's very nice to have her expertise when trying to plan this event. So this is actually my first year participating in this event and coordinating for GSU. So I think it's a great way to give for companies and organizations to give back to Governor State and to local food pantries as well, just to be a positive impact on the community. Well, we have so many volunteers who came out this year to help us just to sort and organize, as well as unload the truck with the food and stock it into our food pantry. But food insecurity is a very important issue right now, especially with inflation, especially with the pandemic, and so many people not knowing where their next meal might come from. So this is a very good way to ensure that we're helping our neighbors, helping our fellow students, staff, local communities, and so forth, to make sure they have the resources that they need during these times.
The food drive was a success, and everybody who came out to help had a big impact in society. This is John Redfield, and thank you for watching GSU TV.
In the lecture hall, 4 GSU media students come together to present their long-awaited final documentaries.
Thank you for coming today to support the students that are in my documentary broadcast media class.
First up, Tamara Lee May presents her documentary on her daughter.
So I knew I wanted to pursue a career in broadcasting once I started to understand the benefits of it. I learned quickly during my internship that the networking part of it was beneficial. So what I decided to do, okay, how can I use networking and use the skills that I have to help the community? So local news, national news, world news, and most importantly, of course, we've been following all of the latest details with the pandemic as well. So that can be an asset to you and give you information that you need. So,
well, of course, as you can see, that's my kid. Oh, the years and everything just fly by. She went to HF, and you know they have an awesome broadcasting department. I mean, they broadcast Channel 7 News, I think. The local news station from that studio, and so she started learning a lot more about broadcasting too in high school, and that prepared her and launched her off, to college, and so.
Next up, John Redfield presents his documentary, Quitters Still Succeed.
I got all of my music stuff from my dad, but band wasn't everything to me. Music in general was everything to me. Once I realized band wasn't it, I just left. I spent a lot of time in the gym, doing a lot of workouts, spending a lot of money on trainers. I did everything, but what got me to quit was that there was a lot of discouragement around me. So basically, it was about how just because you quit something doesn't necessarily mean that you can't succeed at what you do in the future. And I feel like that's basically how I see how my life kind of panned out. But when I look back at it, I see the type of impact I had on myself and probably on other people if they watch it and they can realize I may have quit this, and this, but that don't necessarily mean, I'm not gonna be nothing in life.
Next, Jazmine Grisby presents her documentary, which focuses on her boyfriend's struggle with mental health.
I cope. I smoke, but people say it's not a good habit. I can understand. I try to go outside, try to read, try to get back into reading, because I used to be a bookworm. People keep their feelings in because it's much easier to keep it in and talk about it. Because realistically, I still feel this way because you wouldn't have the answers that we're looking for.
I had
a lot of obstacles, just from him being my boyfriend, and me having so much love for him and care for him. It was certain things that he would talk about that I'm just like, no, we're not going to put that in there. It's too personal. Be more helpful with people, because you never know what somebody's going through. You never know how they choose to hide what they're going through. So I really wanted to highlight that in this film. That's what it was about, just mental health awareness.
Last but not least, Justin McLaughlin presents So Much for Inclusion, a documentary on the gay community.
And when same-sex marriage was legalized in the United States back in June of 2015, it truly had reached its peak. Finally, the people that were seen as outcasts were being included. Yeah, too bad the gay community isn't as always inclusive and accepting of its own people as they make it seem. Yet all this community does is knock each other down, give out lists of criteria when it comes to who can approach and date them, and pick out the differences and flaws in one another because it's not what fits some weird definition of what it is to be gay. Or do you really think if more stories came out about how disrespectful, hurtful, and downright mean gays are to each other, stories of like what happened to Ziggy Tyler, do you think there would still be all of this show of support?
It's one of those things that it's like, they don't want to admit that they're, the community doesn't want to admit that they're like this. They want to kind of, no, again, love is love. And obviously, no. In terms of within the community, for lack of a cliche, practice what you preach. You are, again, sitting there crying from the rooftops, love is love. Prove it. Actually talk to somebody based on a person, not, as a sexual position.
These talented media students just showcased what true storytelling is all about. This is Dante Corona reporting for GSUTV.
The third annual GSU Phoenix Summer Journalism Bootcamp is an opportunity for students to get involved with a media outlet on Governor State University's campus. Dr. Laura Rassay expands on the areas of journalism that are going to be covered.
This boot camp is going to teach students all different aspects of journalism. Print journalism, the ethics of journalism, broadcast journalism. We're hoping to have topics on social media and journalism. So the boot camp is open to students that are registered for classes in the fall, and they'll have a great experience in learning about journalism and all the things that they'll need to do to be better journalists, whether it is for print or for broadcast and other media.
Randall Weissman has over 50 years of experience in journalism. He hones in on the beneficial experiences that are going to be taught during the summer and where it can lead students.
Well, I think the biggest thing to think about, the summer camp is something that people should look at if they're serious about journalism. The Phoenix in the future is just going to be a branch of CCM. And the object is to create journalists, trained journalists who can work on any platform they choose. We try to become part of the community. We get things published in the Homewood Flossmoor Chronicle because that's what we do. We cover news that appeals beyond the borders of GSU. And I think that when we teach people to do that, they can carry that with them into a job.
Current writer of the Phoenix, Lana Abdullah, expects to learn skills in meeting deadlines and writing more articulately. In the future, she wants to use the camp's knowledge to move outside of print media.
Ideally, like film. I love film. I'd like to be any way I can be part of like a movie. That'd be like, it's like a pipe dream kind of, but hopefully it'll be a real dream. Yeah, I think film for me, and any way I could like take part of or like be someone who's included with like writing a script or something like that.
Last year, Naha Abdesalam took part in the journalism bootcamp. Her experience transferred over to some of the articles she wrote this semester.
As of recently, I would say my favorite article was the BLM article. I worked on how to be a better ally. I'm a big supporter and I want to be a better ally. And so I had the pleasure of just like going on platforms like social media and seeing people talk about this, asking these questions and like hearing actual Black women and men say, this is how you could be a better ally. And it really all resulted just listening more and not really speaking. I think I'm very proud of that one. And I would say when Lieutenant Governor Stratton came, I was really proud of being a part of that. I just thought that was really important because I think education is important and it's something I stand with. So it was nice to be part of.
If you want to learn more about the GSU Phoenix newspaper, please visit phoenixgsu.com. Or if you are interested in being a part of the paper, please contact Dr. Laura Rosset. I am Claude T. Martinez reporting for GSUTV.
Welcome to Governor State University TV, where today we'll be talking about the excitement that the casino night brought to Governor State University.
So the university has First Fridays and different department sponsors. So the Vice President of Finance and Administration, Dr. Corey Bradford, he sponsored it. It was his idea.
Well, we do this for our employees to show our appreciation. And so every first Friday, we celebrate our employees for all the hard work that they do for our students, for our faculty, and for just keeping the university a best workplace environment in the Chicagoland.
I'm having an absolute blast because I see that there are people that are here that don't know each other, that have been here for the first time, that are partaking in all of the festivities, the fun, the food, the drinks, the games, and so it's really good for the morale and the camaraderie of our faculty and our staff, and I'm very happy.
Everybody had an amazing night at Casino Night with their fellow colleagues. Thank you for watching Governor State University TV.
On April 18th, an international event was held in the E-Lounge where students were introduced to a new culture. The Office of International Students applied for the International Life Grant, which awarded GSU funding for Dance Africa.
So Dance Africa is a new event from the Office of International Services. One of our initiatives from our office is to focus on a different culture, country, or continent each semester. It is a chance for our students, staff, and faculty to gain more knowledge about the continent of Africa and to engage with each other through learning.
Dance Africa included a variety of different African dances from around the continent.
We ended up having a nice setup where we started with a workshop on Ghanaian dance, like a traditional fisherwoman's dance. And she taught our students when they were in Ghana in 2019. Then we had Bilal, our graduate assistant, present a little bit about the North African region, because a lot of times when we think about Africa, we forget about parts of Africa such as Egypt that is actually part of North Africa. And then we had a beautiful performance from the GSU Dance Company, who just happened to be rehearsing an African style dance. They did it to Zambi, which is a song by Fela Kuti.
In the United States, students may be limited to their own culture, and student clubs give GSU Jaguars a new perspective.
We promote different culture. I also happen to be the president of a club that's called International Culture Organization. What we do is we get people together from different parts of the world, for example, Africa, Asia, Europe, obviously, and we try to do events to promote different cultures because we want everybody in the U.S. to be aware of what's going on in other countries.
Coming out to events like these opens the GSU community's eyes. But why is it so important to attend events like Dance Africa?
For me, the reason I tried coordinating for this event, the reason I showed up is I wanted to learn about the African culture. I wanted to learn about how people do things in Africa, you know? That was pretty helpful. That was a learning experience. So if you're somebody who wants to learn, who wants to explore other countries, so why not just go explore, see what other countries are like and what they're doing and what's their way of, doing things. So there has to be a why for you to come to campus and participate in this event. And if you have a why, I can bet that you can come here without any issues at all.
If you want to come out to the next Office of International Students Culture Night, please visit govst.edu/OIS or follow their social media pages. I am Claude T. Martinez reporting for GSU TV.
Welcome to GSU TV, where today we'll be talking about the Career Services Center and also having a conversation with the Director of Career Services, Ms. Rosa Valdez-Mensala.
Why did I select career services? For me, it's more of a personal reason.
And that's mainly because of the experience that I had as a college student. One, not just as a first generation college student, but more of as a minority. I attended a four-year university, which was Robert Morris University. And unfortunately, the career center there was not as, I guess you could say, as advertised as it is nowadays, in different universities. So I did not have a good experience when I was attending college because one, I had no knowledge of how to get started. I just knew I had to attend college, get my degree, and then try to find a job. Little did I know that one of the important things is actually taking advantage of doing internships and being prepared, right? When it comes to having a resume ready, what does it consist of having a resume, a cover letter? I didn't know about any of this information. And again, being a first generation college student, if I would have had someone to mentor me or an advisor, someone that I could go to, it definitely would have made a huge difference. Why did I come to Governor State? For me, it was when I saw that it expanded the education that it offers and it was now accepting freshman students. It's really important for me to be able to connect with the students when they first start a university, because a lot of them don't realize the importance of connecting with career services, right? They tend to wait till the end. And also upon my research, I caught that, Governor State is very community driven. They like to work with the students. They're very passionate. They're very innovative with the resources and programs that they offer. So for me, having the opportunity to work here and working with a lot of minority first generation students means a lot. It's a passion of mine, and I'm able to meet my goals as well as help the students meet their goals as well.
The Career Services Center is something that all students should look into. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to go talk to Miss Rosa Valdez-Mensala. This is John Redfield, and thank you for watching GSUTV.
GSU hosted its first Voice Story Slam, an open mic storytelling competition. 3 students competed for the $250 first place prize.
To get to the rules of the night, we're going to ask you to come up here and tell us a story about a time when life gave you lemons and you turned them into lemonade by making the best of the situation.
My most recent work, which was prior to GSU, I was involved in animal care work. I was a veterinary technician. My most fond memories were when we got to travel down to Quincy, Illinois, where a lot of our transport dogs and cats came from. There was one particular dog that I grew very fond of and had to really use all the lemonade I had in order to save her, and her name is Dolly. Dolly was one of 12 dogs that was stuck in an abandoned store that was bolted shut purposefully. At that point, we suspect it was at least 3 months. They were completely emancipated, malnourished, just covered in fleas. Getting her in the car, driving up to my work at the time, the organization, we had a bully breed rule. We could only bring back 2 bullies, and at this point we had 4 in our van. And I knew I was gonna get in a lot of trouble. Dolly, in this case, was fostered for almost 5 months at that point, which was a very long time to be fostering a dog, and which grew me to be very scared, because that meant the longer that we had spent with Dolly, unfortunately, we would have to do something if that we couldn't provide any more resources. And so working with the foster parent that had Dolly, going back and forth, we made some strides and eventually adopted her out. And so that's the story of Dolly and my work with animal care, and thank you for bearing with me.
So the story that I prepared within the 5 minutes that I've been sitting around here is the story of how there's lemonade in Slovakia. I do a history course on the side, which is called Claude's History Course. So I started a new channel, Claude from Chicago, on Twitch. There I met Simon. We decided to build a video together called the Czechoslovakian coup d'etat, which was released today. The lemonade in the story was that the communists blocked all information from the coup d'etat and hid it from the public. So what I had to do was research with him, transcribing millions, not millions, maybe 10 different documents citing him from, but a lot of the information was stolen. So what we could pull from it was that Czechoslovakia needed to come up with a new idea on how to get out of this. And all they had to do was wait. Just like lemonade, when you put it into the glass and you stir it up, you have to wait a little bit. And in 1992, when the communists failed in the Soviet Union, that's when Czechoslovakia could take advantage of their government. They overthrew the government and they installed a new system, which is sort of like democracy today. And that's the story of lemonade that I have. Even though you can make lemonade real quickly, it still does take some time to taste really good.
So I grew up not too far away from here, Chicago Heights, a considerably lower class, if you ask me. Our high school was in the 95th percentile for both math and reading, meaning we were kind of the worst. I went through my whole education, honors classes, AP, 7 extracurriculars. I took my lemons and I thought, let me make the most out of it. Let me make my lemonade. Fortunately, when I went to my graduation of high school, ranking up about $250,000 in scholarships, I decided, let me go across the country and move to Massachusetts and attend my 4-year university. Let me do, what was set out to me, what everyone else couldn't do. Let me go to college. While enjoying my lemonade, I was faced with a little bit of a bill, an extra $32,000. Where did that come from? Apparently, where I went to high school, they just kind of wanted to get us out the door, accept those offers, and just kind of fudge those numbers to make sure that we did go to college. And not until I was halfway across the country did I realize I couldn't afford this. So after enrolling for about 11 days, I dropped out. I came home. I kind of was at a loss for words. What do I do after this? Still have to pay a bit of a bill, but what's next? I was fortunate enough to still pick up what lemons I did have left, and I went to Prairie State, a local community college here, and where a lot of our students go to before coming here. Although I'm still enjoying this second glass of lemonade, it's not until it's over that I can still even consider what could be next. So that's my tale of my lemonade, having my second glass, and where I'm at today. Thank you.
This year, Andreas and Nuha ended up tying for first place.
What classes really helped you improve your skills storytelling?
Because I'm in the media study program, I think a lot of the classes always tie back or hit the element of storytelling, and so I feel like they all contribute. But I know I specifically took a storytelling class, and I think, that being such a heavily focused subject matter helped for sure, and it really kind of made me enjoy wanting to write more stories and hopefully tell them more, just becoming more comfortable with that.
This is Dante Corona reporting for GSUTV.